And then this year I'm actually trying to put myself out there a little bit more. So public speaking is definitely my biggest fear, bro.
Yeah.
Number one.
Would you consider this public speaking?
Not public speaking. What?
I mean, you kind of are speaking.
Kinda. So public speaking, I would say public speaking and like just talking and you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like in this format.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Cause I love talking. I can talk to people all day. I can talk to you all day, but like in this format, I think it's like.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like every time I do a podcast, I still get a little bit nervous, but honestly, like I've just gotten used to I think just hearing my own voice and everything like that. But
I think that's what it is, bro.
100%,
bro. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, just hearing your own voice and shit.
100%. Or I'll do if to say something. I'd say I'd been on a podcast. I'll never want to watch it. Like I'd be like, oh, I don't. I'll send it out. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what it is. Once you feel like comfortable with your own voice,
for sure. Yeah. No, you got to. But yeah, man. So I always forget to do an introduction. So I'm gonna do the first thing introduction.
No, yeah, for sure, bro.
So I'm sitting down with. So this is episode 27.
Awesome.
We're sitting with Roberto. What do you go by, Rob?
I mean Robert's fine. Okay. Yeah.
Roberto Godinez. He's what's your title? Just a trainer, like sports, like you basically. What's your title?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I would say I'm a sports performance trainer, and I'm an owner of a few gyms here in town.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. I've heard actually you're one of like the very few guests to this date that I've had people recommend. Like someone like reached out to me, said, "Hey, have you heard of Rob Godinez? Like you should have him."
Appreciate that.
So I thought that was like
awesome.
Pretty badass,
Appreciate
bro. And yeah, like I just heard of obviously just your work and what you do through. I mean, because I used to play sports, right? Yeah. I used to play basketball, and you've trained a lot of the people like I played against. So yeah, I've just always like heard your name just in the El Paso scene. So it's just dope to be able to sit down with you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, of course. And so you grew up here in El Paso?
Yeah, man. Born and raised from El Paso, from the Northeast. Went away for a little bit during my college years. I was out of town, but always knew I wanted to come back. Always knew after college I was going to come back.
Yeah. So did you you grew up with any siblings?
Yes, I have two younger sisters, Mariana and Natalia.
So you're the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Yeah. What's being the oldest like, bro? What's being the oldest sibling? What kind? Because I'm the youngest, bro.
Okay.
So I have two older siblings.
Opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So how would you say that? What responsibility comes with like just being the oldest sibling? I've always been curious.
So I think first things first. I think you're where I was with my parents first, right? Both my dad and my mom. So I'm their first. So they're I think experimenting and being parents to begin with.
Yeah.
So I think I grew up definitely with my parents being super strict.
Yeah.
My mom especially. You know, mom's like more of my parents are Mexican, so I grew up with a typical Latina household. Running the show and being on my butt all the time, and but I think with that, you being the oldest also comes with some responsibility. You know, set the tone for your sisters, and you grow up like, hey, you got to take care of your sisters, but no, it's great, man. I think it's in my perspective, it was a little advantage. I think being the oldest male, and then you have two younger sisters. So you have that extra pressure of you need to take care of them.
Were you protective growing up? Like
honestly, man, not too much, because me and my sisters, we don't have that much of a gap. Probably like 4 years, and then my youngest probably like 6 years. So we grew up going at it, still like fighting. Okay. So even now, man, I'm pretty laid back. Let's say with their boyfriends and stuff. But I mean, if the time comes, you know what I mean. But I'm pretty laid back with them, honestly. Yeah,
that's dope, man. And so. You went to Canyon, went to Chapin, and what was your soccer career like, bro? Is that something you wanted to pursue like when you were younger? Did you always have plans of playing in college or? Oh
yeah, man. Yeah. I think 1,000,000%. I think I grew up with that soccer dream, man. I wanted to go pro. So I grew up playing soccer in the Northeast, and then eventually went to go play at Chapin. And then after college, I actually didn't play right away. I did go to a university called St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. I was going to walk on there. Things didn't really work out as well. Built some amazing relationships there. Eventually, ended up transferring there because I still wanted to play, man. I was like, I want to play. Ended up leaving to go play in two other universities. So I ended up playing at 3 different schools, or going to 3 different schools, playing at 2 different ones. And from there, got into a little trouble, stopped playing. And that's kind of where like the dream kind of like, I would say, died down a little bit. But that was always the goal, man. I think that was from being a little kid, watching soccer growing up, and So watching my favorite soccer players on TV, watching the World Cups, like, man, that's the goal, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like when you were growing up, when you were playing, did you have? Because I feel like from my perspective, you probably have a really good perspective on this as well. There's people that like whatever sport they play, you have a lot of them. There you have some that are very naturally talented and gifted, right? And sometimes like they have both traits where they can be very naturally talented and gifted, and they have that work ethic too, which is probably the best thing. But you also have some of those dudes that like they're not as talented, but they work hard like really hard, and they end up like kind of getting to the level that they just like their potential, right?
Yeah.
What would you say you were like? Would you say like you had that talent, or did you just have to work, or like what was
No, definitely not, man. I definitely wouldn't say I was not naturally talented.
Yeah.
I was probably a short, chubby kid, weak as heck in the weight room, not the fastest.
Yeah.
But I think I was always very self-motivated and determined, and always willing to put in the work for sure.
Yeah.
And I think I loved it. I loved the process of it too. Now that I look at it back, but I was just so in love with soccer at that time, and I was like, man, I know I'm not the best, but shoot, I'm ready to work. You know, from youngest to even throughout college.
Yeah.
I had that fire in me, I think, naturally. But yeah, no, I was definitely not the natural athlete. No, not at all.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. I feel like I was the same. Like thankfully I had the height. Mm-hmm. Well, in basketball, I feel like people say I'm tall, bro, but I'm literally like I'm average for a basketball. I'm a point guard, bro, in basketball type shit. So, but I can definitely relate to that where I had some skill. Obviously, like I wasn't a scrub, but at the same time, I knew I had to put in like a lot of work in the gym. But then there were some dudes that like would come in after not even like hitting the gym, and they just walk right in and just like be nice, bro. So it's I always thought that was like super interesting. But so did you ever envision yourself getting into like strength and conditioning and performance and everything like that, or
not at all, man? I don't think that was ever like the goal. I wanted to, of course, soccer didn't work out. I wanted to be a cop, man. I wanted to do law enforcement. So I majored at the time in criminal justice. Mm-hmm. So I always wanted, like, I guess plan B, you would say, was always law enforcement, whether it's federal law enforcement, local law enforcement. But looking back at it, man, I remember my first time in a weight room. I was a little freshman soccer player at Chapin. We went to go try to use the weight room. I couldn't lift the bar. I think that's what pissed me off. I think it pissed me off so bad that I'm like, man, I need to get stronger. I think I asked for some like 25s for my birthday for Christmas, and I think that's where it started coming along. So no, I never thought I would be doing this at all. Looking back, like, you know what? I've always loved working out and being in the gym and stuff, but no. Yeah. Law enforcement was always like, I thought that's what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm. So when did that come about then?
So I think naturally, always being the weakest and the slowest throughout high school, I go on to play in college. I still felt the same way. Luckily, puberty starts hitting, so I started growing a little bit, maintaining some weight. But I always wanted to be the fastest and strongest soccer player on the field. Yeah. So just being self-motivated kind of got me in the weight room by myself. At the time in El Paso, man, there wasn't any place for us athletes to get sports performance training, right? Yeah.
What was like the closest thing?
HPC, Humans Performance Center.
I went there. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So I think that was the closest thing. But at the time, I remember it was super expensive. Super expensive. So I would just kind of, and at the time, man, anything was expensive at the time for me, even a gym membership. So go on during college, kind of train myself, started training some of my underclassmen from high school that wanted to go play in college like I was. And then eventually, once I'm trying to get my applications going with the law enforcement, I think I had like Border Patrol, DEA, a little FBI internship I wanted to get into. It's a long process. I'm not sure if you heard of it. You have to go like lie detector tests, all these applications,
everything.
Interviews. While that's going on, I started working at a gym. I started working at Anytime Fitness. And in my back of my mind, I always wanted a gym as a side gig. Yeah. I always wanted to have a gym as a side gig. And the name Top View Fitness, I probably had that name written down in the logo ready to go years before. Really? Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to open a gym one day as a side gig. I'll pull up on Saturdays and make sure it's running well. Start working at Anytime Fitness, and I fall in love with it, man.
Wait, which one? Because I worked at Anytime too, actually. Which one did you work at?
Did you work for Greg and Mike?
No, I think I worked there recently. I worked because are Greg and Mike the one that owned like 9 of them?
They own like 14 of them now, yeah.
Okay, so I worked for the other owner.
Oh, okay, crazy.
The Raul. RB.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah, he owns the other ones. So.
Okay, so yeah, I worked with Greg and Mike, who owned at that time they had, I think, four. They had Kern Place, West Side by the police station, Northeast, and Horizon.
Okay, yeah.
So that's who I worked for, man.
Just front desk, or you were
just
trainer?
front desk
Okay.
cleaning, just cleaning front desk. Minimal hours, working like I don't even remember. I think I was making who knows minimum wage.
Yeah, but free gym membership, right?
Free membership.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I loved it. Before that, I was going. I don't know if you heard back in the day, bro. You used to be able to use Fort Bliss gyms with your Texas ID.
Really?
You would walk in there, boom, boom. Now you can't.
Yeah.
So other than that, I had never really had bottom gym membership.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so started working there a little bit, and it was like I think that's when I realized, man, like this is where my passion really is. And again, I'm just cleaning front desk cleaning. I would see the trainers and their lifestyle and like what they would do. I'm like, man, that's awesome. They come in, help people work out, eat, help more people work out. Man, that's badass. And I think that's from one day to the next. And around this time, I think I had just gotten done with college. Me and my girl at that time had just gotten our first apartment. She's going through like a nursing school. Mm-hmm. We had no really income coming in, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember like it was tough. I was waiting for these applications with the FBI customs.
You were what, like 23, 24?
I was probably 22.
22.
This is like 7 years ago, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
But it'd be 8 years ago. I turned 30 next month, so 8 years ago. So being patient for that federal law enforcement applications to pick up, but I'm like, at the same time, like, man, I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah.
But, you know, with federal law enforcement, you get all these benefits. Healthcare, a steady income, a steady salary. Mm-hmm. So it was always like, man, like, that sounds great. I remember at that time, my best friends, one of them was living in Madrid, just traveling. My other friend was also kind of traveling, doing his thing. And I'm like, man, that sounds fun too.
Yeah.
But if I work for the federal government, they're going to own the first 5 years of my life, no matter what. Great benefits.
Yeah.
Good money. So I'm like, man, no, it just makes sense. Like, let me go with what I love. And I dropped all my applications. I told my girl at the time, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be a trainer. And back then, bro, like, there was no, I mean, I think now in El Paso, being a personal trainer is a little bit more respected than it was at the time. Yeah. I will tell you, I do personally think that. Yeah. So my girl's like, what, are you crazy? Like, at that point, we're trying to build something here. Like, what do you mean you're going to go be a trainer? Like,
yeah. And it's crazy because it's not that long ago, bro. It's literally like, what, like 5 to 7 years ago that this was a thing. And yeah, that's insane how it's not even that far.
100%. 100%. Like, I want to train athletes. I want to do this. Like, I want to help athletes. I'm going to be a sports performance trainer. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? What is that? Yeah. And lo and behold, you know, I guess shout out to her a little bit. She's like, you know what? Let's go for it. Right. Yeah. And then that's when I asked my bosses at the time, hey, I want to get certified. Help me out. They helped me get certified. And what's up, bro? Damn.
Nah, no, you're good.
What's up, bro?
Chill, bro. Come on. What's up? Yeah. This is all candid.
Oh, shit.
You good?
What's up, buddy? I'm good. What's up, bro? How are you doing? Good, bro. How's it going? How are you? You good? Good. Chilling? Yeah, bro.
Nah, we love to have a guest in the background, so.
We're already 2 shots in, bro. We're going to catch up. We're 2 shots in, so catch up. We had a little...
Nito's right there, bro.
Catch up, bro. Can you hear me? Did I unplug something?
Can you hear yourself?
No, check. Yeah, I can hear it now.
Is it, you see a recording, right? It's the red dots.
The red dots? Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
I like that jacket.
Thanks, bro.
That is nice.
I found it in my closet, bro. I didn't know I had it. So we were just getting into how he basically just got started in training and stuff. So you basically said that, you pull your applications, bro.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, so what's the first step you take, bro? Like, what is...
So... At this time, I asked my boss from Anytime Fitness, like, hey, I want to be a trainer, help me get certified. I'm like, yeah, for sure, let's do it. And at this point, I remember I started working there January. I can't remember what year, to be honest, but it was a January. By this point, it's like March. Struggling, struggle bus. No, I started working there in November. I'm sorry, November. This is January. Mm-hmm. I remember I asked on January 1st, man. It was like January 1st. We're in struggle bus. Me and my ex were down bad, bro. No money coming in. And I was like, man, I'm gonna try try to pursue this dream, you know. So, hey, and in my mind, like, if I'm gonna be a trainer, there's gonna be more money, you know. That's what I was thinking at the time. Yeah. Hey, help me get certified. My boss is like, yeah, for sure, let's do it. But you still have to study a few months for your beginner certification. So, bigger picture, right? So, corporate gyms like Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness, they ask for specific certifications that you need, right?
Yeah.
So but you need to study for them. It's like almost like a whole course. It's like a college course type deal. If you do it the length, it takes almost like 4 or 5 months to do.
Yeah.
Around this time, I kind of start picking up a few clients on the side, like athletes, but not really train them at any time. Because if you notice, Anytime's more machines, not so much room to do like more athletic specific stuff.
Yeah.
So I find this gym called Push Fitness off on Geronimo next to Guitar Center.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore, but
I definitely remember Push.
Okay.
I feel like that was one of the first like. What do you say? Like, or you had HPC, but then like Push was another one.
Yeah,
right?
Push was there too. I remember Daniel had some. Daniel was the owner at the time of that location.
Kaufman?
No.
Okay.
But okay, so that's crazy because Daniel and Justin were business.
Oh, why did I say Daniel? Yeah, Justin, my fault. Yeah.
But crazy story. No one knows this. Daniel and Justin were partners for a little bit.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of probably got them mixed
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that's what.
They were partners at some point. Not when I was there, but at some point back in the day. So me and Daniel, at first, I already knew Daniel somewhat. I used to work at Costa Nissan, or I used to work everywhere actually. I was working at Costa Nissan one time, and this lady, she's a physical therapist. She had a physical therapist office inside Daniel's gym, Push. So a long time ago, I met him. So I had his contact info. I'm like, hey man, I'm interested in training at your gym.
Yeah.
What's up? I hit him up. Come in for a quick little interview. He's like, yeah, we'd love to have you. So at that time, it would be like you're a private trainer, like you pretty much pay your rent to the gym. You train your athletes pay you, or your clients pay you.
Yeah.
You pay your rent to the gym.
Got you. So
it's a contract trainer.
It's like a barber shop. Almost.
There you go,
Yeah.
100%. So you're a contract trainer. So we're there. I start there. I quit anytime. Leaving horrible. What's the word? I left with horrible.
Bad terms.
Bad terms, horrible terms.
Yeah.
Because remember, they had helped me get my certification.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'll be honest. It was not the best environment. They weren't the best bosses, to be honest. So it was just horrible environment. So I was like, it was easy for me to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't even feel bad. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna pursue this. I'm gonna be at Push, training athletes and training general population.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So then we start at Push. I'm trying to think back then. Well, it hasn't been that long, but you forget, right?
Yeah. Who's like who you were training at first? Like, how were you getting?
My first client, I want to say, was a football player from Chapin. His name was Justin. He doesn't play anymore. He was playing at University of Southwest. He's older. He was for sure older than you. Okay, so it was Justin, first client. Man, around this time, man, I'm in like trying to go through my phone book. I'm on Instagram just reaching out to everybody, like literally saying like, hey, my name's Robert. Or most people, if you're there, you know me. Hey, I'm a personal trainer now. If you or anyone you know would be interested in training, please let me know. Wow. Literally 100 DMs a day, 100 texts a day for like the first few months, man. And little by little, started growing traction. I think I was like slid in Gabe's DMs too a few times. No homo. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Paul. No, I'm just kidding. So, but literally like that. Like, hey, man, like, this is what I do. We love to train, work with you. And this time, Gabe's killing. So that's how I found out about him. He's killing in the city. So reach out to him. And that's what I would do, man. Just reach out to athletes, reach out to parents, reach out to anybody. Just not even athletes, just anybody that was willing to train. Yeah. And if they are athletes, even better. You know.
Yeah. At first, did you like, because I trained for a little bit, but I knew I had the knowledge, bro. But at the same time, like there was always that like I was always nervous because like I just wanted people to like feel like I knew what I was like talking about. Early on, did you ever feel like that kind of just like, nervousness or just
like imposter syndrome?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
God, dude, no, honestly, no, man.
Really?
But honestly, what I think it came from is like I was always in love of being inside the gym and being a better athlete myself. That it was natural for me to, at the end of the day, help an athlete improve their game, improve themselves. So I felt at home. Honestly, it was weird.
That's good.
I think it just. I'm guessing you're not doing that anymore?
No, not anymore.
So maybe I think that's what it has to do. Like, maybe if it's not for you, maybe that's where it comes.
Yeah, and at the same time, it was honestly just kind of like I knew I wasn't gonna be not that like I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I knew I had like other things that I wanted to pursue. Yeah. So maybe that might have something to do with it because you knew like that was your dream, bro.
Yeah,
so, like,
man, for sure. Don't get me wrong. The first few months, you're just trying to pay the bills.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pay bills. First months, first year, you're just trying to pay the bills, man. And luckily enough, it's a blessing, right? Luckily enough, ended up working out. We were able to grow something from nothing. And
for sure.
Yeah, man.
So eventually you start getting like a good clientele. At what point, like, you start, because you train like professional
Yeah.
athletes now, bro. So
Yeah,
I know you train like Aaron Jones. I know you train like his brother, and then just I know right now you train Jeremiah Cooper. Right?
Cooper, yeah.
Did you train his older brother
Tristan?
too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so I mean, those are all like, I mean, top tier athletes out of El Paso,
100%, bro.
And not even just El Paso, in the country, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, at what point did that start coming along?
Yeah, for sure, man. So we start training athletes, general population. I get in touch with at this point, some of my friends or people that I knew from high school are playing at UTEP.
Okay.
So I started training some of the UTEP athletes there, a little bit UTEP football players. I want to say I meet Alvin first. I don't know, I think through Instagram, I want to say. And then him and Aaron started coming to train with me. Shout out to them. And that's really what opened the doors, man.
Yeah.
I think really 100% training Aaron and Alvin Jones was what really opened the doors for more athletes to trust us, more football players, more athletes in general trusting us. Around this time, the Locomotives, El Paso Locomotives, come into town. One of the guys that I went to college with my freshman year gets signed to them.
Oh, wow.
His name was Foxy. But then before that, I don't know if you heard of Omar Salgado. So Omar Salgado played in the MLS. He was the number 1 draft pick in 2011.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's from El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
So I had always been a fanboy of him because I think we're about the same age. So at the age of 17, I might be wrong, he gets drafted, man.
Damn.
So I'm like, dude, what? And at this point, I'm playing in college. Or I'm getting ready to go play in college. I'm a junior, senior in high school. You're like, man, that's awesome, man. I looked up to this dude, man. He's like, he's making the dreams come true. Like, gets drafted at 17 or 18, pro soccer player in the MLS. Backstory on him. So I always followed his career, right? The Locomotives come to town, or actually backtrack a little bit. I followed his career a little bit. He would be in and out of El Paso, I guess on his time off season. I remember one time I'm working at the Garden. It used to be this restaurant bar back in the day.
Yeah,
I'm a bar back. And he's there, man, just hanging out with friends. I go up to him. I'm like, bro, can I get your autograph? Complete fanboy. And I still have the autograph. It's on a little receipt tape or something.
Yeah.
I still have it. Well, fast forward, I ended up reaching out to him when the Locomotives come to town to get signed. And, he ends up training with me, man. And now he's one of my good friends and longtime client. He doesn't play anymore, but all the years that he was here with the Locomotives, he helped me open the doors with the Locomotives. Mm-hmm. And so around this time, I'm training a lot of football players, thanks to Aaron and Alvin, and then a lot of soccer players around this time, thanks to Omar. And that kind of just got the wheels rolling, man. And my now business partner, Joseph Iglesias, starts becoming a trainer with me at Push. Mm-hmm. And honestly, we're at Push for about maybe 2.5 years, and from there we ended up opening up Top View Fitness.
Your own gym.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first location?
It's by the airport. So it's Top View Fitness, and it's right by the airport.
Okay, yeah. And what was that like taking that leap when you first started? Like, were you guys knew you were ready, or like was it just like I mean, obviously when you're starting any business, there's a little bit of like risk involved, right? You got to put in some investment, I'm sure. So like, what was that like in the early stages of you guys opening it? No,
for sure, man. To be honest, we were in such a high of everything was going so good, man. We had a lot of athletes. We had a lot of general population clients coming in. A lot of people that were happy with us. A lot of people that were trusting us. But it was still a big leap of faith because at that time, Push, we had a minimal rent. We were making some good money. We had no overhead other than just our rent. Yeah. Compared to what a business entails. Yeah. You have employees. You have a water bill, electric bill, gas bill. A huge rent, not just like a trainer rent, but a huge rent. Mm-hmm. But man, honestly, I think we're just so ready in the foundation that is having clients and training and having customer service. I think that we didn't feel like, man, we're not going to be able to do this. We're going to make this happen.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys already, I mean, the fact that I think you guys already had such a solid client base, like it just helped everything.
Yeah, you know? For sure, man. And we were already pretty much doing what we were doing at Push. We just transferred it over to Top View.
Yeah. What are some things that you wanted to kind of do differently, if there's anything?
Going from, I guess, Push to Top View?
And just at that point, you saw, like, obviously, I guess the athletic, like, just the performance training and just sports training was getting better. But at the same time, I'm sure you guys had a vision for what it could become, right? So
yes.
What did you have in mind?
100%. So we wanted more space that also at Push, it was us with our clients. And then Push still had their clients, right? Okay. So it was kind of now looking back. If you look at our videos, and it was a mess, but we made it. We would make it work. It was crazy.
But it was like a takeover. Like, I mean, it's because it was a mess because it was so packed on our side because it was just, I mean, bro, like
At
I
Push?
remember the atmosphere. Yeah,
Oh,
at Push.
okay.
Yeah.
So you trained at Push?
I trained at Push, yeah, because that's when he first. I
Okay,
was with him, but like I remember like just the atmosphere and like the bro like.
And it was like it was the most simplest equipment. We had nothing fancy, and we still don't to this day. We don't have nothing like crazy fancy $1 million equipment. We stuck to what we needed, like whether it's just racks, turf, sleds, dumbbells, kettlebells. So, but definitely what we wanted with Tavi is more organization.
Okay, yeah,
more cleanness, more presentation, be more presentable, be an actual brand and an actual company, not just two trainers with clients. Make it more of a brand, make it a company. And I think that's what we did. We were able to transition. It was still a learning process, and still is, honestly, but it was a learning process. We move over, our clients come with us. And honestly, it was easy from one day to the next. It was still the same flow of what we were doing at Push because we were just so used to the practice of our daily habits of training, So I think that was the main thing. We wanted to make sure to be known as a brand, which was Top View, and not just like, hey, I train with Robert and Joey. No, I train at Top View.
Okay, yeah. That's badass. And so do you now employ like other trainers under you now, or is it just like you two just completely?
No, I want to say so. Now we have 4 locations, and then between the 4 locations, we have 17 trainers, front desk. Okay. Yeah, and we're still hands on too. Yeah, I'm still quite hands on, but now with us having the 4 locations, I'm also on the law management side, marketing side.
True. Yes. Okay. And you have the so you have the Top View Fitness by Airport, and then you have Top View Hits, right?
Yes.
So how many of those do you have?
So we have 2 Top View Hits, and that's our new concept that we have right now.
Yeah, for sure. And what's because he talks about it, he says he dies every time he goes.
Yeah, right? It's intense.
I ain't gonna lie, like don't be wrong, like going to Top View Fitness at Airport, bro. It's like, especially for an athlete, like there's no better place to be. Yeah. One, just because like the breakdown, the functional movement, like depending on what sport you play, bro, it's not stationary and it's not like very just like structured movement. It's explosiveness, and it's like it's the being comfortable, being uncomfortable, like in the movement, and just getting familiar with that and training your body. And so that's difficult in itself. But then you go to hit, and it's like, you think you're in shape, and so you go to one of those workouts, bro. Like it exposes you. Like it really does. I'm not gonna lie. Like it works you.
So Top View Hits, you're gonna be your high interval intense training, right? Yeah. So it's your boot camp style circuit training. So you're taking care of your conditioning, your strength in about 55 minutes. I know there's other gyms out there that might do even 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We do it a little bit longer because we do incorporate a lot more detail. But yeah, it kicks your butt. So we have those 2 locations. And then the 4 locations is Top View 24/7, which is on Stanton by UTEP.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. So that one's just would you say like kind of an anytime concept?
Exactly. Yeah, I'd say traditional, go out on your own, and we still offer like personal training there. Yeah.
Damn, that's dope, bro. So what are when you kind of look forward towards like Top View, what do you see in the near future, even the long future? What's your goal right now that you guys are trying to work to?
For sure, man. So in my opinion, we grew very, very fast. So it was one new gym every year for 4 years, back to back. Okay. And it wasn't even planned that way. It's just how it happened. Yeah. So right now it's like we grew so fast that I'm trying to slow down a little bit and work the details. Yeah. Now we have employees, so now I can't just be a trainer now. I have to be a leader. So now it's more slowing it down. No more gyms for a while. No more new gyms, at least for a long while, in my opinion. So yeah, just take care of what we have, grow what we have. And in the bigger picture, I want to get into the sports world, man. Get into sports management. So maybe represent like NFL, MLB players, soccer players, maybe some NBA players. Me not be an agent, but have agents, and we'll represent NFL, MLB, NBA. Wow. And I think that's my biggest goal right now in the future. Yeah.
I think going back to that like growth thing is that growth period happened, bro, but they have something for everybody. You want a commercial? 24/7. You want to get in, get out, and burn? Yeah. You're an athlete? Fitness. Yeah. There's not an area of like that they haven't uncovered yet. Like they have a little bit. They have a little bit for something for everybody. So it's enticing for people to go.
Exactly. Just try and improve that, man. And we're not perfect. There's so much things we need to improve. I think that's a good thing, right? I think there's not a time that we're like, oh, that's it, we made it. Here's the finish line. I don't think that day's ever gonna come. So just improving what we have, and honestly, man, giving the opportunity that we had when we first started training to my trainers, to my staff. Yeah,
that's badass, bro. Still recording? Yeah. All right, we're good. Sorry, it's because I have trauma, bro. I've lost like when I first started, bro. I lost the entire podcast, so I'm always just like he's recording. For the most part, not for the most part, like 100%. I've been solid since then, but yes, it was a crazy thing. It was a good thing. It was my homie, bro. And we just redid it, but it was Curry. It was Curry. Yeah. How do you feel like the El Paso like just training scene and just sports training and performance? What position is it in right now, and how does it maybe compare to like maybe some of the other bigger cities? Do you think there's still a long way to go?
Oh yeah, we're way behind, man. We're probably 5 years, 6 years behind on everything.
It's definitely been strides.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting
even like but no, it's still like
we're definitely like behind Dallas. It's hard to compete against Dallas.
In Austin. What ways are they just ahead?
And they paid their dues already, man. There's just facilities that they've been there for 10 years, or trainers that have already paid their dues for 10 years, and they have that clientele. They have that knowledge in a spectrum of like. I mean, we have pro athletes. We have guys that play in the college level, but man, you go to other facilities that have 50 pro athletes every year, another 50 to 100 D1 or D2. You just call more college athletes. So I think in that perspective, maybe technology too. There's a lot more technology coming out. But I'm a big believer. Like I'll visit now. I visit a lot of gyms throughout the year now. That's a big thing I like to do is just visit gyms, network with other trainers. And I see all this technology, and that's cool. But I'll be honest, I'm not a big believer on the like super expensive equipment and technology, at least not to train athletes, or even for regular population. I think you go to facilities that think they have all this crazy technology, but have horrible customer service. The energy is not there. The way they interact with the client or the way they care for their people is not all there. So I want to say we're behind, but that's necessarily not just because of they have bigger gyms, they invest more money into their equipment. But I think we're just behind in the idea of like sports performance training. Yeah. Or even on the general population, man. You go to Dallas, they're charging 5 times what we'll charge here for personal training. Yeah. So we're just behind in that sense. Mm-hmm. But I think it might just be El Paso as a whole, not just the fitness industry, but El Paso as a whole, we're behind.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, even in like I guess like for example, my family owns, it's called Neep Collective. Okay. It's that it's actually right by Chapin.
Okay, sweet.
About it. But yeah, and just in a lot of aspects, like it's a food truck park and a patio bar, and in a way, it's kind of the first thing that first of its kind here. But you go to Austin and Dallas, there's a lot of places like that, and it's almost like people like they like it, but it's also like it's not. It's just so foreign to people, bro. And like I said, it's not just a fitness industry that is just behind. I feel like El Paso in general is like probably like 5 to 10 years behind on a lot of things. Yeah. What do you think it has to do with? If you had to like pinpoint something?
Man, I'm sure there's a smarter answer for it, right? But I mean, you go to Dallas, right? Which I like to spend a lot of my time in. There's big companies big corporate companies that it's money flow, man. I think there's a lot more money flow going through Dallas compared to here. Now, I think it might also be we're a border town. So I think, in my opinion, it's always going to come down to the money part. Like how much cash flow or money flow can flow through a city. We're a border town where a lot of our economy does come thanks to like people from Mexico coming over and shopping over. Mm-hmm. Like imagine if we had expensive everything and we were charging all kinds of money or all kinds of stuff for clothes, stuff like I think that has to do. I think I'm not saying blame it on because we're a border town, but I think we have to like also adapt to that. We're a border town that we rely our economy a lot on Mexico. Yeah. We're like compared to Dallas, they're not. Again, I'm sure there's a smarter answer to that, but I think that's my personal opinion.
No, for sure. I think I would agree, bro. And I think you said it. I think it's just the cash flow and the money flow. Like there's not really there's big corporations here, but for the most part it's like compared to Dallas and Austin, like you got Google in Austin, you have AT&T in Dallas, like there's just a bunch of different corporations that I guess it brings a lot more like just business and everything like that. So I've always been curious about that.
We have low cost of living here compared to but that's what it has to do with, you know what I mean?
True that for sure. So for you personally, what do you feel like is I guess maybe the hardest thing you've because I started the show off of mental health. That's kind of the main concept. And so I'm just curious, what would you say is like just the hardest thing you've had to overcome as far as just internally in your life?
For sure, man. I think balance, man. Balance. As in like, I think for business and entrepreneurship, you need a lot of self-confidence. A lot, man. You have to bet on yourself when people are doubting you. I think when I go back to when I was like, hey, I'm gonna be a trainer, you know. My ex at the time was like, man, you're crazy. I think my mom was like, you're crazy, and I think that was the hardest part. like having to prove to everybody, like, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna show that this is a worthy industry to provide one day for my future family. Just have respect, like this respectable industry where you can earn a living from it, you know? So I think that was the hardest part at that time. Like, man, I need to have the confidence to make this happen. And you doubt yourself, you know? You doubt yourself. And then you as we start being successful, I guess you want to say. And you have to find that balance of you have self-confidence, but you're not cocky. And I think that's the hard part sometimes. Yeah. Where you find that confident, like you're confident, but you also want to become out as cocky.
Yeah, for sure.
Or time management. You know, I when I was growing the gyms, I missed a lot of things with my family. The first 2 years of training were tough, man. I mean, not tough, but I was working. Well, at that time, I thought I was working a lot. Now I would probably work a lot more.
Yeah.
I was working Monday through Sunday, grinding. I missed a lot of things. Lost a lot of friends. But I think that's the mental aspect of it. Like, you have to find balance in your life, man. And that's where, even now, man, I'm engaged and I'm slowing.
Congrats, bro.
Appreciate
that's
it, bro.
awesome.
I'm slowing down a little bit on that perspective where, like, I can't just work my ass off Monday through Sunday. You know what I mean? That's not going to be a healthy thing for me to have when I have a family, you know, just being a workaholic.
For sure. It's kind of a complicated thing, though, right? Because if you really think about it, like, it may not have been the healthiest thing, but would you really be in the position you are now if you didn't go Monday through Sunday, like just working that?
100%, man. And I remember that. And I think you remember that I remember Robert 7 years ago, where when I first started, we didn't have a dime to our name. And you still wake up, I'm gonna be honest, I say this all the time, you still wake up with like that, like thinking that. I don't think that feeling of like hunger ever goes away. Like, man, like, or not, well, yeah, hunger, but also like you never are comfortable where you're at.
Yeah.
At least for me, I don't think that's ever gonna leave. So also the mental health of that, man, like, hey, Rob, chill out, like, slow it down now, like, find the balance of, are you overworking yourself and missing opportunities of memories with family and people that love you and care for you, and that's the hardest part, man. And that's my current not dilemma, but that's the current thing I'm at right now. You know,
that's very relatable.
Finding balance
for sure. That's because I mean, like, obviously I think like I was saying, like, working hard is just like, I mean, you need to do that to get to like where you, because we all have goals, we all have aspirations, but at the same time, like, your mental health, like, because I know for a while I neglected a lot of things when it came to just my personal life, as far as my friends, my family, and it did affect me. But I was also like putting in time into things I really love. But it's like you said, it's just that balance, bro. It's 100%, so. Bro. What would you say is your main, like, because you talk about that hunger when you wake up. Yeah. You think your main motivation is just not wanting to go back to like where you were? Like, what drives you in that way?
Yeah, man. I think you always remember that feeling of, I always remember that feeling, like, man, like, and it's never about the money either, but you just do remember, like, man, literally having sense to your name. So that hunger that one day you're going to wake up is going to be all gone. Number two, I'm thankful for the opportunity, man. It's a blessing from God to have the opportunity that we have, man, and work with the people that we have. So thankful to the craft. Like, I'm thankful to be in this industry and thankful and grateful to have the opportunities that I've been given. And third, a little bit of hunger. I don't want nobody to catch up to us, to be honest. I remember when I first started, I was a young 22-year-old, hungry as hell, and I could say I looked up to I had a lot of mentors that I looked up to in the fitness industry that I wouldn't say I overlapped already, and I don't want that to happen to me. Yeah, to be honest,
for sure.
Yeah,
I'm curious about this. What was it? What was it like when you were kind of like just putting in those long hours, and you said you lost people, you lost friends and stuff. How did that feel? Like, what? Because a lot of people kind of go through that, where it's like, you can be really focused on something, and you start noticing people just drop off in a way. Yeah. How did you navigate that?
Yeah, man, and that still happens to this day, right? Yeah. There's just levels. Eventually, there's levels to it where you're gonna lose people. Yeah. And then to this day, that still happens, right? I think at that time I was so locked into wanting this gym to happen and this the goal of being a trainer to happen that I didn't care, but I was like, man, I'm gonna make this happen. For sure. I don't care what I have to sacrifice. I lost friends, I lost relationships, and so obviously it's hard, right? Because you're lonely, bro. You're lonely grinding it out, and that also doesn't never really relieve you either. Even now, man, there's lonely nights that I probably honestly work more now. Maybe not training, but just managing. I work more now. Yeah, a lot of lonely hours, and it's like, but so you do remember how you started, and it never really goes away. So I think just, again, back to balance.
Yeah.
Having that balance, and I mean, it was sucky feeling losing friends and having your mom pissed off at you because you were missing time with your family, but she didn't understand like the grind and the entrepreneurship. And I mean, maybe it's not for her to understand, but that was hard. I think that was the hardest part, man. Having my mom understand like I'm gonna miss things. I was missing things
for sure,
family
especially
events.
The Mexican families, bro.
Yes,
you show up to one party, bro. It got to the it's gotten to a point, bro, where like I won't go to parties or something, and then like my dad comes back, my mom comes back, and they're like, my tia Alma or tia Miros were asking for you. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm gonna have to face them next time, bro. Like they really let you hear it, bro. They'll let you hear it.
100%, bro, for sure too, and and like. Yeah, stuff like that, man. Just you start missing out a lot of things. I guess a lot of sacrifices that you have to put in forward, and that never goes away, honestly, bro. And at least not yet for me. At least I think there's different things that we want to accomplish. I want to accomplish that I'm still going through that sometimes too, honestly.
Mm-hmm. What's advice you'd give to someone? What would you say to someone who was in your position, like when you first started, where people were like, "You're crazy," like they're kind of in a way they're doubting you. Let's just say someone's going through that right now. What is something you would tell them, and they're gonna take that leap, like into training or something that just another field, but they're taking that leap that you did?
Yeah, I know.
What would you say to them?
100%, man. I think everybody says believe in yourself, but more than anything, believe in your hard work, right? And I think that when you asked me if we were doubting ourselves when we first opened our first spot, we were working so hard and willing to put in the work. Whether it took Monday through Sunday, that we didn't doubt like we were gonna make it happen. So believe in your self-worth, but believe in your hard work.
For sure.
Because it's gonna remind you like, okay, cool, yeah, I have self-esteem, but no, like you gotta believe in your hard work. Are you really working hard? You know, and the day get ready because you're probably gonna have to do that for the next 100 years. I don't think that ever has to leave you.
For sure. Damn, that's true. Because in reality, like at least from what I've experienced, like a lot of that just kind of anxiety and just like that fear and that thing that like you have that self-doubt, it kind of it really lowers and kind of goes away when you know you're doing all that you can as far as the work, you know. When you're doing your part as far as like, I don't know, if you're a football player, bro, you know, you're watching film, you know, you're doing all those things, and it's just like, yeah, you might have some doubt, but at the same time, if you know you're doing what you can, you're gonna let the rest kind of like
when you take care of what you need to take care of, bro, you can accept the outcome regardless of what it is.
Yeah,
it's just like it's clarity in the fact that like I put all you could face yourself in the mirror, because only like you can't cheat yourself, bro. Like you can't you know whether you did everything you could have or you don't, or you still left some in the tank, or you're saving stuff, or you're storing. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty like. Yeah. It's just being authentic.
Like the power of self-evaluation, you know, like self-evaluating yourself. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah,
for
being true to yourself.
Yeah. What is if you could attribute like your success to one thing that up to this point, I'm sure there's different things, but the main thing that we were like you look to is like that's one of the main principles that I'd stick to. Yeah,
man. I think it just goes back to my parents, bro. Like I want to say I grew up probably like middle class. We always had a roof over our heads, food on our table, clothes on my back. But I grew up with my dad working 2 jobs. My mom was a teacher in Juarez, so she, for 30 years, for my whole life, I'm going to be 30, she would cross over every day, teach in Juarez, and come back. So I think I was exposed to like hard work very, very early on, and sacrifice and providing. And if it takes, I remember my dad would go into like Walmart from 6 a.m. to like, let's say 4 p.m. and then he would leave for an hour, have a lunch break, go to Checkers, like AutoZone. I think AutoZone bought him out, and go work AutoZone for Checkers at the time, 4 to 9 p.m. Come home, repeat 5 days. In the weekends, still have side gigs, yard work, stuff like that. So, I think that's what it was, man. I just being exposed to like hard work early on. And another big thing, bro. When my mom being a teacher in Juarez and my mom being from Mexico, we'd go to Mexico a lot. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys been to Mexico, but you see like little kids hustling at such an early age, bro.
Yeah, for sure. You're in the line to get over, and like they're coming with like their toys, snacks. They're cleaning your fucking windshield and shit. Like it's crazy, bro.
That is life changing, bro.
Yeah.
I think I was exposed to that very, very, and reminded that daily. If I ever had a complaint growing up, my mom reminded us of those little kids that were hustling some candy, some chicles for a few cents. And my mom was a teacher, not in the best parts. I literally saw like cardboard houses and like pallets. What do you call it? Like
wooden pallets.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was, man. And I think I always have those memories stuck to my head in this day. Like, if the little kid that's 8 years old is hustling just to eat Monday through Sunday, like there's no excuse for me.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
So I think that's what it is, man.
Yeah. And so you just got recently engaged.
Yeah.
How long were you guys like dating before that?
6 months.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. That's dope, bro. That's legit. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody. I'm not trying to put it out there.
Yeah,
Like,
no, for sure.
And
I think that's dope. That's awesome. Because I mean, that's the goal for me, bro. I mean, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But how do you feel? Because like, I mean, you're not obviously not dating anymore. You have somebody, but like, how up to that point you were you dating? Because you had an ex.
Yeah.
Up to that point, were you just dating and just like seeing?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I was a straight up mess. Yeah, I was crazy, bro. I was 100% the worst guy out there that you could be. Self evaluation, I can definitely admit that.
Yeah.
I was a typical piece of shit dude for sure. Yeah, man, I was enjoying myself for sure, and then but yes, life starts slowing down a little bit, and you start putting things in perspective. Even with I think business helped me do that too. There's no way I could be trying to run 4 successful gyms and also be doing other things on the weekends or staying up late. And yeah, man, so it's a little bit of perfect timing, right? It's about timing. And I'm getting older. I think it's a little bit of that too. And then Olivia, that's my fiance's name. She's younger than me. She's 20.
Oh, wow,
so I'm 20. She's about to be 21 in February. I turned 30 in February. But you know us, bro. Guys mature at such a different time than girls.
Yeah.
If you were to talk to Liv, she looks like she's about to turn 30. I'm about to turn 21. That's what it looks like. She's so mature, and I have a great partner, bro. She keeps me in check, and she definitely gives me like perspective and the goals that I want for us.
Yeah. That's so dope. How do you feel like before like you were dating? How do you feel like things had changed like in today's society? How do you feel like it's changed like prior to like when your parents were coming up, and like do you think it's a lot harder to find somebody?
Yeah, man, I think it's harder to find somebody, and I think it's also harder to be that person that person might need, you know. There's a lot like with social media, you make things like social media makes things more, there's more options with social media, or I think some guys there's more options. You see what's out there.
Sure.
It's not very traditional.
Hella options, bro.
Yeah, right. Right. Like, I think in that perspective, or oh man, yeah. So in that perspective, as a guy, I think we think like, oh man, social media. Look at that girl from freaking over here, not even from El Paso. She might be across the world. Shoot, right.
And then on the other side, like super attractive girl that probably lives here, probably has 30, 40 other guys that like probably have like
man. Or you know what? I talk to this about my mom all the damn time. Like for example, it's funny. My parents were also only dating for 6 months when my dad proposed. Yeah. So but they were doing distance for like 4 months, like true distance. But there's no cell phone, there's no FaceTime. Yeah. They would talk on the phone once every 8 days, 9 days. Lord knows what your partner was doing when you guys are doing distance.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, how would you guys even trust each other? And she's like, we would just trust each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's so dope, man. That's so cool.
Oh, bro, that's bad. I mean, yeah, you can't even imagine if you go 8 days without talking to someone you're talking to. That's a wrap, bro.
You're like, or even,
curtains are closed.
Yeah, like sure. Oh, she hates me. She hasn't texted me in an hour. What the hell? Like she hasn't replied to me. And even people didn't. They could have lived in El Paso back in the day, but they only had that home phone.
Yeah.
They probably would only talk if they didn't go to the same school. Or they wouldn't work together. Or who knows, right? They probably would only talk once a week.
Yeah, no.
And you would just have to trust. And that's crazy, bro.
Life is just so fast nowadays. Bro.
Yeah.
It's so fast. Yeah. Like, it's so sped up. Back then, it was just...
Just different, bro. Yeah, or I think I'm very big on... I don't want to say catch a vibe, but I think we also take ourselves too serious when we first start dating someone. Like, whether you're a guy or a girl, some girls or some guys, like... You hang out with them once, all right, what's up? What are we? What are we gonna get married? We're like, we'll come like catch a vibe. I think I'm a big believer in like my partner's my best friend, and let's be best friends and friends get to know each other first and go from there. I mean, because you should be your best friend, you know?
Yeah.
That should be the foundation of it all.
That's badass. Because you're gonna you're gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be bad, but it's just the type of foundation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, that's dope. I think another thing that I was actually just talking to my parents about this, bro, and they brought up a good point. My mom was saying like, how do you even like? I feel like before you even start talking, you already know so much about that one person, you know, like just because of social media and like.
That's a good point, bro.
And yeah, I'm just thinking like you and it was crazy because my mom's like, we never really talk about this, bro, but she brought up that good point. I was just like, I mean, that's so right, bro, because you can, even though you never met the person, yeah, you can just do their stories, do their friends, do he said, she said. Like, you already know so much, bro. So I wonder how much that actually affects somebody's, like...
You're on the first day trying to act like you don't know nothing about them. Like,
right?
You know they have 3 siblings.
For
you know where their parents grew up at. Like,
you know who they talked to before.
Yeah,
so it's just like...
that's so true. Yeah. So there's not even, like, there's no mystery to it. So
I think that definitely affects a lot of it, bro. Now that I think about it, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, man.
Damn. So what's advice you'd give someone who's like, who's like, damn, I can't find anybody, bro. Like, I know you were single for a little bit, but you found your fiance, so.
Yeah, if you're a guy, take your time. Don't rush into it. There definitely, as I said, us guys mature way later, and take care of yourself first, whether it's financially, emotionally, physically. Because even then, and I'm not saying I got to figure it out beyond means, right? I don't. Definitely, we're not a perfect couple. We're not a perfect relationship. But I think it helps when you know who you are first and take care of yourself first. And then you can take care of someone else. So, no, definitely take your time. Do not rush into anything. Take your time.
Nah, that's a good point, bro. Especially for men. Like, I feel like you just... Not that... I think everybody should have their shit together. But for sure, like, I think, like, for a man, it's big, bro. Like... Just your body right, just everything in general, right?
Yeah, get your mental right, because you're in for a ride when you're not. You're in for a ride when you're in a relationship, man. I'm just kidding. No,
type shit.
But yeah, seriously, take your time. Ain't no rush, bro.
Yeah,
ain't no rush.
Yeah, bro. So what do you have kind of coming up in this next year, bro? Are you traveling a lot this coming year? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, for sure, man. That's back to balance. I'm trying to travel a little bit more and enjoy life a little bit more with balance, I make sure my fiance's enjoying life too, and I'm more present. I mean, I'm just so used to, like, even if I'm with her, I'm on my phone, I'm on my iPad, and definitely this year my goal is to be a better partner, better son, better brother, and be present. But yeah, travel a little bit more, enjoy myself a little bit more. One of my best friends, Phil, he lives in a van, bro. He's doing van life.
Oh, shit. So
he did all of the U.S., he did all of Mexico. Right now they're in South America. And I try to meet up with them every chance I can.
Hell yeah.
We've done Mexico City. He's in Austin right now, so I just got back last weekend from Austin. Enjoy my best friends, bro. I do have my best friend Kevin and Phil. I try to catch up with them as much as I can. And so my travel is just based off either my girl plans something or my friend Phil calls me, hey, let's meet up in Mexico City or something like that. But definitely want to travel more and and start working on that sports agency, man. That I'm trying to tap into.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Yeah.
What's your day like, bro? Give me a Rob's like day in the life, bro, from a work day.
Yeah. I usually get up at 5 a.m. I'm usually up by 5 a.m.
What time you go to sleep?
During the week, 1 a.m., 12 a.m. or 1 a.m.
So you get 4 hours of sleep?
4 hours. Monday through Friday, I'm on 4 hours.
That's grinding, bro.
So I still have some personals and some clients that I see and I train. So usually either my day will start personal training a little bit or just managing the gyms. Make sure all the trainers or all the locations are good to go. If they need anything, I'm there. And I for sure just visit the gyms every day as much as I can and just sit down on my iPad, work out. I'm trying to work out more. I'm trying to work out. You'd be surprised. In the past years, you'd think because I was at a gym, I would work out a lot, and I would not. I think this past year was the most I've ever worked out. Take care of my body and mind, right? But yeah, so then I work all day, work out, have a little lunch.
You're just moving to gym to gym?
Exactly, yeah, gym to gym. Whether it's with a client, marketing, if we have some leads coming in, I want to do a tour or meetings with different people I might partner up with, whether it's the high school coaches I'd like to visit with, now recently the new UTEP staff, try to tap in with them or different companies, just collab as much as we can with sometimes other gyms or
I see you work with, like, do you have like any aspirations to open any bars? Because I feel like you kind of work closely with like some bars here. No.
Yeah. So shout out to Dickie Williams and Anthony Maldonado. They're my business partners for the Hit Gyms.
Oh, okay. So they partner with you guys.
Yes, they're my partners for the Hit Gyms, man. So
how did that come about?
So Dickie was one of my clients when I first started training. Now he's a big mentor of mine. Still is, but so he became a client. He was my mentor, and then eventually I was given the opportunity to team up with him and build these Hit Gyms, man. And shout out to him. He was the one that actually got that ball rolling in that. And it was an honor when he brought that up to me. And man.
Bro, the amount of bars that dude has and just businesses in general.
Yeah, man. No,
insane,
he's crazy, man. He sets the bar high for any business entrepreneur, man. He's a dope ass dude. Always up to something, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So that's how I got to work with him. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up.
That's so dope. So what's something you would say to someone who's going through just a really tough time in their life, mentally, physically, or just anything? What's advice you would give to them? What's something you'd say to them?
I think lean on your loved ones. Lean on your go-to people. Where I think for me is always my mom, right? My mom, now of course Olivia, my fiance. Lean on the people that know you the best. And like, what might be a friend, you know what I mean? And not be scared to show your emotions. I think us guys sometimes we hold it in. We want to be that tough guy, right? We don't like to get too emotional until we freaking break and we explode. Maybe it's just me. Who knows, right? Maybe it's just. But I think, like, not be scared of talk about your feelings, and find someone that you trust to talk about it and not hold it in. I think, again, us guys try to like really hold it in and be that tough guy,
sure. Yeah, nah, for sure. Are you religious?
I used to be more religious, to be honest with you, man. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I do believe in God. I am a man of faith, but I definitely don't visit a church like I used to. I'm a big believer right now in serving people.
For sure.
Like, nothing wrong with going to church, right? But I think back in the day, I would find myself going to church by not treating the people the best. Where like my thing right now is my priority is making sure I'm treating people the best and volunteering as much as I can and giving back. In that sense.
Yeah, I think that's big. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I definitely have faith. Yeah,
for sure. That's something I really recently discovered this year, is just giving back a lot more.
Yeah.
Like that's something I kind of neglected for a while, and not even just really just giving, but in general, like just supporting a lot of other people in their own ventures and businesses, and like especially locally. Like I know I have a lot of friends that have their own businesses and stuff. And yeah, it goes such a long way whenever like you just kind of, you don't even need anything in return. It's literally just because you want to see other people like win and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Man. Honestly, just being a good person and treating people right, and going out of your way and giving value to other people, and but yeah, just being a good person and not just like actually living it. Like I think, at least for me, I get to see 100 faces a day, and I want to be the best part of their day.
Yeah.
If they're having a bad day, I want to make their day better. If there's anything I can do for anybody, I love being there, man.
What's your favorite, if you had to choose, what makes you excited or just what gets you up? Like, or what's your favorite thing about training someone?
I put myself in their shoes, bro. I think I remember what it was when I was in high school and I wanted that college scholarship. I remember when I was in college and I had dreams of going pro. I remember that process, and I think that when we have kids come in, whether they're a freshman in high school or they're a freshman in college, or we've been honored to work with pro day athletes. So it's college athletes that are trying to make it to the NFL, and living their dream, man. I think knowing that what it felt like when you had that big dream and you're trying to help them reach those dreams.
I'll leave you with one question because it just came to mind. Super curious. What's something that you if you would give advice to someone finding in a business partner like Joseph?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What's advice you'd give to someone?
So first things first, I think a lot of people try to automatically go with their best friend for business. I'll be honest, I wouldn't say me and Joseph were like best friends. When we first decided to open the gym, it just worked out so well that we were acquaintances from high school. We were friends. It's a relationship, bro. It's like literally how I have to, like, we talk about like finding a girlfriend and a wife. That's what a business partnership is, man. You got to make sure have someone that you can communicate with effectively, that's going to put in the same grind as you. Because there's bad days, just like in a relationship. It's a wave, man. There's bad days, good days. So what I would say, man, because I mean, I have best friends now. We're like, man, we want to go into business together. But no, I want to say, don't automatically assume because you're best friends with someone that the business is going to work. I think find someone that motivates you, inspires you to want to be better, and maybe someone that's already more experienced than you. Because at the end of the day, you already have something to work towards too. I want to be at their level, For example, Dickie and Anthony, like they've already been in the business game, the bar industry, and had way more successful experiences than I ever did. So when they approached me with the idea, like, heck yeah, man, there's so much room for me to learn from and be coachable with, that I think you always want to find someone that's going to make you better at the end of the day in the business world.
That's gold right there. I like that. Well, man, that's episode 27.
Oh yeah, appreciate
the
it,
most
bro.
vulnerable player, bro. It was a pleasure having you on, man.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the invite, bro.
No, for sure. Is there anything like people could support? I mean, obviously you have those gyms, you have the 4 locations. Your Instagrams, what's your Instagram?
Roberto Godinez 915.
Yeah, just give
probably
him a
easy.
follow.
Appreciate it.
And I'm sure people would catch you at the top views and everything. So
Sure, appreciate it, man.
but yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, dog. Thank you.
Always.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Was I talking loud, bro?